Hi guys, my name is Shon Wilson. If this is your first time tuning in for Not So Average with Shon Wilson, I'd like to say welcome. And if you have been here before, I definitely say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm an actress in Hollywood, and I make content dedicated to inspiring you to fulfill your dreams. Now, if you're left-brained, you probably prefer saying pursue your goals, but it's the same thing. And today we are going to talk about why I think, actually 6 reasons why I think you should pursue your dreams, even though you're too old. Hey guys, it's Shon. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hi, welcome to my podcast. It's Not So Average with Shon Wilson, where I give you my take on, well, everything. I'm doing this just for fun, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 6 reasons why I think you should pursue your dreams regardless of your age, and I let you know the ones that most affected me. That's right. I said it. Too old. But the question is, too old for who? Like, who gets to decide who's too old to do what? First of all, too old compared to what, right? Because old is subjective. If you're 90, a 70-year-old seems young. And if you're in your 40s, 70 feels, well, I'm not looking forward to it. So, I mean, no offense to anybody who's already there. But my point is this. It is subjective. So the first thing that I want to encourage anybody who is struggling with this thought process to do is take that idea out of your head. There is no such thing as too old. When I first came to Los Angeles, it was because I knew that I wanted to be a film and television actor. And in fact, when I first was dreaming about it from my youth, it was that I wanted to be a film actor more so than a TV actor. Once I got here, of course, TV became very interesting to me, especially with how good it is now and how well it is written. So I actually, though, was very lucky to have worked as a professional actor in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where my family is. So it's a regional market. And when I was living there, I was so happy and doing well enough that I wasn't in a rush to come to Hollywood. But I was in my mid-30s when I finally bit the bullet and came. I didn't think I was old. I didn't feel like I was old at all. If I did, I wouldn't have taken the shot. But I was told pretty soon after getting here that I was too old. And unfortunately, I let that thought stick in my head and influence my decisions for a very, very long time. Let me tell you the insidious way it was said to me. It was, you don't have enough recognizable credits for your age. Well, that was hard to hear and hard to swallow. But I am the way I am, and you don't tell me no. Especially if it's for something that I want to do. I just don't know no, is how I like to say it. I don't know no. That doesn't make sense to me. I keep going until I get what I want or change my mind about wanting it. So this is one of the reasons why I started Not So Average, right? And some of the audience members that I have that touch my heart the most are the ones who are very mature adults. I love all of my listeners and watchers, whether they are 18 or 65. But I have a heart for those who haven't had that opportunity to try something for themselves yet because they've been so busy taking care of someone else. And now maybe your life has relaxed a little bit and you have a little bit more free time, or maybe you don't even have free time, but that dream is still inside of you. And when you think about the thing that you wanted to do, you're like, but I can't because I'm too old. Now, there are some things that we have interest in doing that the industry that it's in or a part of, or the art form that it is baked into the cake, so to speak, that you can't do it past a certain age, or at least it used to be. I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples of how those were hindrances to me about 2 things that I was interested in. And they changed and were no longer hindrances, but I missed the boat because I had stopped being involved with that thing. And this is one of the reasons why I say, throw out this idea of too old. There is no such thing because life is always changing. In fact, that is one of my 6 reasons why I think you should pursue your dreams, even though you are too old. I'm going to say it like that every time. Too old. Is it going to get old? Well, that's subjective. Cornball Shon is back. Okay, so let's start with the first reason that I have. It feels good. It's really as simple as that. It feels good. There is some reason why you dreamed of doing this thing. There is some reason why you wanted to do it. So whether it's arts related, like the examples that I always give, and just to be clear, guys, I give arts examples because I am an artist, but your dream can be anything. It can be starting a nonprofit that helps less fortunate people. It could be traveling around the world. It could be building your dream home from scratch with your own hands. Whatever the dream is, it's inside of you for some reason. And so you should definitely do it because it'll make you feel good. That's the best reason to do anything. And if you feel good, you are going to draw so many other good things, experiences, people, opportunities, activities. You are going to draw so much good to you because you're going to be so high vibration, shiny, happy, light. I'm going to kill this leaf blower. Can y'all hear that? I hope not. But I hate that guy. Anyway, so getting back to high vibration. It feels good to pursue your dream. It feels good to do that thing. And so as I've said in other episodes, there are many ways to pursue it. It doesn't have to be that you're making it your new career. It can be that you're just incorporating into your life a regular practice of doing it because it feels good to you. Number one, most important, it feels good. The second reason why I think you should pursue your dreams, no matter what your age is because it gives you something productive to do with your time. Now, as a people, particularly here in the United States, we have gotten better at not only sitting around and watching TV, but we do still sit around and watch a lot of TV, especially now that there's Netflix and there's Hulu and there's Amazon Prime and there's this one and there's that one and there's ShonTube. There are so many ways to just sit and just park your butt on a couch in front of a screen. I do it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You can live vicariously through these characters. You can laugh. For me, it's also studying. You know, I like to assess the acting. Probably too much for Justin's sake. That's my boyfriend. For anybody who's new, I do refer to him a lot. We live together and he's a major part of my life. But anyway, so yeah, as adults, sometimes we just aren't that active, mostly because if you work a traditional job, when you get done with work, shoot, this happens as an actor too. When I work as a professional actor too, when you get done with your work for the day, you are tanked out. You are tired. You've got nothing left to give. And yet you've got people who are waiting for you to give it to them. So in those situations, it can be very easy to develop the habit of non-productivity during our down times. Now, I do want to clarify really quickly. I am not saying don't take time off. And I am not saying don't rest because these things are important too. They help us have balance, and balance is necessary for, well, just being a healthy person. But what I am saying is sometimes when we find recreational activities to do, we don't find the most healthy ones. In fact, we sometimes gravitate very naturally to the least healthy ones. So those would be things like drinking as a pastime. I'm not saying having a drink, but when your activity for the night is that you are going drinking, first of all, you need to talk to somebody. Secondly, you need a different activity. And thirdly, reach into yourself and remember what your dream used to be. Is thirdly a word? Thirdly is probably not a word, but we just used it. Third-ish? Thirdly, we're going to stick with thirdly. Do something else with your time by reaching into your memories and remembering your dream, reaching into your soul and remembering that dream or goal you had, and start using that as what you do when you are not working or tending to family members or resting. This is a more productive use of our time. And, as years go by, sometimes you look back on your life and you go, where did the time go? This happens with me all the time. And I like it better when I look back and see that I have spent my time in a way that makes me happy and proud. And as I said in step number 1, feels good. That felt good. The third reason why I think you should pursue your dreams, even though you're too old, is that it keeps your mind sharp as you get older. So when we are trying something new, we are definitely learning new skills. When you learn new skills, your mind gets sharper. I don't even have to expound more on that. That's like the whole story, man. Does anybody need more? If you need me to talk more about that, put it in the comments. Let me know that you want me to say more about the fact that it keeps your mind sharp. Because it does. It's really that simple. The fourth reason to pursue your dreams or goals, regardless of your age, is that it inspires others. It can be that you're young and you're going after something you want, and people are impressed. If you're old and you're going after something you want, people are impressed. And when people see you going after something that makes you happy, or just doing something, even if there's no pursuit involved, when you try to achieve your dreams, when you experience your dreams, when you talk about your dreams, it inspires other people to do that too. Like, I don't mean to sound all Pollyanna and stuff, but can you imagine what this world would look like if everybody was going after something that they wanted, or just enjoying something that they wanted? So you can be an inspiration to others by going after your dreams, especially if you have children. Think about that for a second. If you're a mom or a dad, or even if you're not like me, the people in your family that are younger than you, when they see you trying something that excites you, doing something that brings you happiness, that makes them feel good for you. And then it also lets them know that they can do it too. Okay, reason number 5, and I cannot stress this enough, is so important. And it's this. You may not actually be too old, because trends and norms are always changing. Let me be clearer. You guys remember when American Idol came out? Well, when American Idol first came out, there was a rule that you could not be older than 25. I was the ripe old age of 27. And I was devastated, because my dream as a child had really, really been to be a singer, the next Whitney Houston, right? But 25 was the cutoff. And so I, of course, thought I was excluded from being able to participate. And then on top of that, I just let my focus go to other places. And what ended up happening that I didn't know until much, much later is eventually they changed the age limit for participating on that show. And unfortunately, because sour grapes kept me from watching the show, I didn't know that. And because I didn't know that, guess what? I missed the second age cutoff too. So I did that to myself. Do I regret it? Sometimes, but I don't think about it much either. The second thing is ballet. Now, if you happen to be a friend of mine, you happen to know that or if you've read my social media, I love ballet, because my social media tag says something like actor, ballet dancer, funny person. At least I think I'm funny. And ballet is something that I've always gone away from and come back to, In fact, it was my first art form at the age of 3, as it is for most young girls. Every mommy wants to put her kid in ballet class, right? Or her daughter in ballet class. So I, at 27, again, this is like a magical year, 27. Actually, it was quite a magical year for me. And one day, maybe as one of my mini-sodes, I'll talk about that, right? At 27, I was so fortunate to get a job at the Community School of the Arts in Charlotte, North Carolina, working in their dance studio. I was teaching hip hop, but my position came with free dance classes, and I got to study with the wonderful Melissa Hale Coyle. She goes by Melissa Hale, I believe, for her teaching name. And she just had such an open heart for me as a dancer, even though I was not a child. And the studio was geared towards children, like everything is, which is my point about too old. So I just did it anyway. And now what we've seen since then, because it's been quite some time since I was 27, is there are there's more and more acceptance of the adult ballet dancer than there was back when I was 27, or prior to that, especially, right? So now, because, everything is money. And so because these ballet schools and ballet studios have seen that there are adult dancers who will take ballet seriously, no, for the most part, we won't get to have a career. This is one of those examples that I talked about where the industry has baked into it that you can't do it past a certain age. And part of that is what the body can do as you get older. But the aesthetic can be different. You could have a ballet company where the aesthetic isn't that the leg goes all the way up to the ear, but maybe it just goes hip height, like it did for Margot Fontaine. If you are not familiar with that pioneer of ballet, please check her out. But yes, so now because this trend has changed of skewing towards older dancers, or at least including older dancers, more and more ballet schools are offering ballet classes for adult dancers. All of them have always had dance classes for jazz, adult classes for jazz and hip hop. I believe some of them are starting to offer modern dance for adult dancers as well. And then there's even some adult dance companies that have come along, ballet companies, where probably someone like me, who used to be a dancer, so maybe even more of a dancer than I've ever been, right? Maybe at some point they were professional. I don't know. But I know that there are these ladies all over America who have started their ballet camps for adults, their ballet schools for adults, their ballet companies for adult dancers only. So trends change. Rules change, guidelines change. So go ahead and do that thing that you're excited about, that you've dreamed about, that you've been scared to do, that you haven't had time to do, that you've not thought you had the right to do. Whatever the reason is, go ahead and do it anyway, because that guideline or that industry standard or whatever that makes it, that says that you are too old, it's too late for you. Man, they change trends all the time. And not just in the entertainment industry. Everything is always evolving, especially since we are living longer as a people. So yeah, you might not be too old after all. And you want to be ready when that trend changes and you are qualified for it again. The sixth reason to pursue your dreams, regardless of your age, is this. You're going to learn something new about yourself. This is kind of tied into reason number 3. Reason number 3 was that it keeps your mind sharp, right? With reason number 6, the fact that you're going to learn something new about yourself, it's because you're going to be doing something that you haven't done before. And you're going to find out more than likely that you're more talented than you knew, that you're stronger than you thought, that you adapt to things better than you anticipated. And you might even find out that you don't have an interest in the thing that you always thought you had an interest in. So while that seems counterintuitive, possibly, here's the thing. When we don't try, we always wonder what if. And usually our belief is that if we had, it would have worked. Or if we had, we would have loved it. So if you don't ever try and you just have that feeling of, well, it would have been great if my life had been different. You're possibly living a lie that's causing you pain. So if you try it and you find out you love it, that's wonderful. That's the goal. But if you try it and you find out you don't love it, now you can let it go and move on with your life, find something new, something else to do, but you won't have any of that internal strife, any of that pain that comes from feeling like, well, you could have if only. Forget if only. F only. Wait. Forget if only. F if only. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to get dinged. Also, my mama doesn't like it when I curse. I'm Southern. So, yeah, let's not even let if only have a chance. Just try it. Just try it. And if you don't like it, stop doing it. And if you like it, keep going, regardless of whether or not it seems to be working. Or more importantly, and back to the point of today, whether or not you feel that you're too old. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no such thing. That inner child that's inside of you is still between the ages of, I think it's like I think what they attribute to inner child is something like between 4 and 7 years old. I've heard senior citizens say it's weird to them when someone refers to them as old or treats them like an old person because they don't feel old inside. And I guarantee you, if you pursue your dreams, if you go after that thing you want, no matter how it turns out, you're going to feel young inside. Particularly if it's one of your childhood dreams. Trust me on this. This LA thing, man, y'all, this is hard. It's still hard sometimes. Not as hard as it used to be, though. Because I got used to it. I adjusted for it. I learned from it. I set up new boundaries around it. Because I grew. Because I learned things about myself as I was doing it. Well, I believe that is all I have for you today. In fact, I know that it's all I have for you today. I don't even know why I said it that way. I do want to thank you once again for sticking around. If you stuck around for the whole video, yes! If there's something in particular that you want me to talk about in regards to pursuing one's dreams, conquering one's fears, personal freedom, let me know. Write it down in where are the comments down there? Write it down in the comments. And I will address it. Hopefully I'll address it. I don't know. I'll look it over. At the least, I'll look it over. And if it looks like something that I think would be beneficial for people to hear about and that I feel qualified to talk about, I will definitely add it to my list of potential episodes. In the meantime, I'm going to give you an assignment. Between now and my next episode, I want you to spend some time with yourself and figure out what it is you would like to try. What dream you have buried away that you want to unearth. And then once you figure that out, I want you to come back to this video and I want you to put it in the comments. And I want you to tell me and everybody who watches what dream you've decided to pursue. Have a great day. And I'll see you next week. Aren't my theme songs fun? I found them at Purple Planet Music. You can find music for your projects there too. Just go to purple-planet.com.